for the nation to move forward, for the judiciary to move forward, for us to be effective and truly independent, all these demands are very sacrosanct and important to us and to everyone that's a Nigerian, a true Nigerian indeed, who wants the nation to move forward. So, what are the demands? The major one is the financial autonomy. We also have other demands, which includes the implementation of the peculiar allowance. Some states have not implemented it. It is long overdue. Most of the states have not implemented the peculiar allowance because people are saying, is the financial autonomy the only thing we are agitating for? No, but it's the major one we are agitating for. Even for federal courts, our workers in federal courts, we are demanding for peculiar allowance for them as approved by National Wages and Salary Commission. Over 5 years now, it has not been implemented. Apart from being in solidarity, industrial action with us, the federal courts also needed to be carried along in terms of their demand, which is the upgrading, reviewing of the peculiar allowance. So far, so good. It's been about 5 years now. Nothing has been done about it. However, the strike action continues as long as the government has not been able to meet our demand or implement the judgment of the Court of Competent Jurisdiction. They've not called us for any dialogue apart from the one that we had on Monday and ought to continue on Thursday, yesterday. But up to now, we have not been called again after the cancellation of that meeting. No date yet. It's an indefinite time they have given us to have meeting now. We don't know when it's going to take place. We are strategizing on our own way, but we wish to also know that the public should be aware that we are eager to leave this behind us, to let our members go back to work, but as long as the government responds to our demands. So that is why we call you here to give the briefing. Our members were in touch with them throughout the state, and so far so good. We know that there are 100% compliance, but however, like I said, the ball is in the courts of the government to obey the judgment of court that grant the financial autonomy and freedom for the judiciary, both at the federal and the state level. Freedom for the judiciary is the freedom for the poor masses. Like we have said severally, people have appealed to us that we should sit aside. Yes, we will, if only the government do the needful and do their own part, which is to comply with the judgment of Court of Competent Jurisdiction. We cannot continue to be lawless in this nation and expect the rule of law to prevail. No. Democracy is premised on the rule of law and must be obeyed by every person, whether in authority, whether highly placed. The law is supreme and it must prevail. So that is why we're here, to brief you about the current situation. So I don't know whether there's any question that you want to ask us regarding our position.
I was glad you met with the governor's forum on behalf of the National Assembly. How far, so far, what is the stop of that? How far have you reached the House?
Yes, they appealed to us that we should find a way around getting a solution to the problem, and perhaps to call our members back to work. I said earlier in what I said, that we are ready to do that as far as the government are ready to call us for dialogue and to have understanding with us on the implementation of the judgment of court. We are not shifting ground. Neither are we saying the appeal is not okay. It's okay to appeal to us, but also appeal to the constituted authority as well. That is our position. As we are doing, you are appealing to us the public should know that the appeals should also go to the governors, the Accountant General of the Federation, and everybody in the authority who is concerned to implement this judgment of the court of competent jurisdiction. So we are taking the appeal and we're considering only if the government also can do the needful. So that's just the situation.
According to what the minister, except from what the minister said before the event, he meant to say that the governors are the one holding on to implementing this document.
What's the question again, please?
That the governors are the ones solely or majorly responsible for not implementing this document.
Are you asking me?
Judgment, yes.
Well, it is responsibility lies not only with the governor, but both the governor, the Attorney General of the Federation, the Accountant General of the Federation, they all have part to play in this. So, for us to focus on one, we don't really know what is happening, to be candid with you. We don't know who is actually solely responsible. But what we know is that the governors allow the money to come to them instead of going to the right channel. And maybe perhaps that's why the governors are the centers of the whole thing. But we believe that both the governor, the Attorney General of the Federation, the Accountant General of the Federation also have part to play in all this. So, that the consultation will fail because dialogue is, we are not lawless people. But without, pushing aside the question you ask, we are strategizing to make sure that we are pressing home our demand. We will do what is necessary within the ambit of the law, as permitted, as citizens of this country, to make the government hear us. Like you said, we have given notice, 21 days notice, which is enough for the constituted authority to consider perhaps implementing our demands, but they did not do it. We cannot resort to violence, of course. We are going to do the needful. We are in touch with all our members throughout the Federation, and we have appealed to them to calm down and listen to us whenever it is, be at alert rather, to the next line of action. So definitely we are strategizing, but we do not hope that the consultation will fail. So we are using this opportunity also to see, appeal to the authority concerned and all the well-meaning Nigerians. We appreciate the body like MBA and some prominent lawyers who have stood up. We are still appealing to them to kindly appeal to the government to do the needful according to the provision of the Constitution and the judgment of Court of Competent Jurisdiction. So, I find it very difficult to believe that there's a proposal like that. Permit me to say so because, I don't really want to comment on that, really. Because if, for instance, anybody proposed, there must be reasons behind it, There must be reasons why there's a proposal to that extent. It's not within our own purview to comment on that, really.
All right, there was a question I wanted to ask.
Yes.
That would be fine. I remember when there was a protest in the gate of the National Assembly. I think that was the first protest I covered. In this recent, I know that there are not as more. There was a pronouncement about if government refuses to comply, there will be protests across the nation. Are you sharing that? Or are you speaking?
Like I said earlier, within the ambit of the law, as citizens of the country, there are so many things we can do. There are so many things we can do. But, of course, peaceful protests cannot be ruled out. If you had it as a rumor, it cannot be ruled out. Peaceful protests cannot be ruled out. Because even as leader, if we say people should not protest, already they are agitating. We are just calming them down. Plateau State is on fire as we speak. if you go and listen to, the current situation, we are the one calming them down that, wait, hold on. We are still talking about this, let us go civil. But of course, it's not going to be violent all the same. But peaceful protest is guaranteed under the law. So we cannot rule out any means that we can use to draw the attention of the government to our request.
So are you protesting on
Monday.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a yes.
I think it's a yes.
It's a yes. Not, you are not thinking. It's a
Yes.
yes. In agreement.
Please, let's say that so that we'll have that.
Yes.
Let's
Let's say it as it is.
Take it again.
Cosmetic.
Preemptive.
No.
Are you going on the nationwide protest on Monday?
Yes, permit me. It's not whatever is happening at the center will be replicated throughout the country. So, like I said, we are the one holding them down. Peaceful protests cannot be ruled out. Peaceful protests, emphasis on peaceful protests, cannot be ruled out. Because if we are going civil, the Minister of Labour and Productivity, with due respect, has called us and gave us hope that there will be a meeting yesterday. And it was cancelled. It's sending wrong signal. That action is sending wrong signal to us and the public as well, that maybe the negotiation and discussion has broken down.